Hey, what's up everyone? My name's Chris Winter and it's that time of the week again to do another Instagram Q&A where you can go over to my Instagram and ask me pretty much any question you'd like about cameras and gear. Now, if you guys haven't done it yet, make sure to subscribe because I'm going to be giving away a Nikon D5400 or a Canon T6 to one lucky subscriber. And guys, I also want you to check out my brand new list that I made, the top 10 entry-level DSLRs for this year. Now, a couple of these DSLRs make it, but some don't. So if you want to see what comes in at number one, I'll put a link in the description box below under this video and you can take a look. But anyway, let's get started with this week's first question. So the first question this week says, "Hey Chris, I'm new to photography and want to buy my very first DSLR. Which one do you recommend?" Well, congratulations on getting into photography. It's something that will be with you for pretty much the rest of your life and it's a fantastic hobby to have. Now, I've listed out a few different cameras that I have right here. They're all DSLRs, Nikons and Canons, and these are a couple that I would probably recommend for you, especially if you're just beginning. Now, starting at the very end here, we have one of the oldest cameras that I've got. It's the Nikon D3100. Now, this one here is a few years old, and this is a camera which you might be able to get secondhand, and it's going to be a little bit cheaper. Now, it doesn't have all the features that you'd get on the newer DSLRs, but it should still take pretty good photos. Next to it, we have the Nikon D3300, which is probably last year's most popular DSLR. Now, this one here is very similar to the newer model, the D3400, but doesn't have a few features such as snap bridge, which is its wireless technologies. Moving along right here, we have the Canon T6, or called the 1300D if you're in Europe, and also the Nikon D3400, which I mentioned before. And these are probably the most popular DSLRs that you can buy on the market. Both of them are very good. Both have very good image quality and video recording. But if I was to choose probably the best one, it's going to be the Nikon D3400. Now, whether or not you choose Nikon or Canon, it's up to you, and it generally comes down to personal preference. At the very end here, I wanted to include this one here. It's the Canon T7i. Now, if you are just getting into photography, this is probably going to be a little bit out of your budget. It comes in at around about $800 these days, but you can pick them up secondhand for around about $500, and it's probably something I would look into as well. Pretty much all of these DSLRs are going to give you similar image quality. The lenses will make quite a big difference, but any of these would be pretty good. Don't be afraid to buy a secondhand camera because they're also good. But yeah, all of these DSLRs will be a good first choice for you. Next, I've got a question saying, how do I start in photography? I have a camera, but where do I begin? Well, congratulations on getting started in photography. Like I said before, it's a fantastic hobby to have and it will be with you for the rest of your life. Look, the best way to get started is to just begin. Go out and take your camera and take as many photos as you can. You can look up on different forums and things like that, different kind of photos you can take from street photography, food photography, portraits, and you can just go test it out. There are a lot of photography groups that you can also join on places like meetup.com, which is a pretty good way to find similar people who have a similar interest in you. But yeah, generally the best way to get started into photography is to learn from actually taking photos. So good luck with it all. Got a question here saying, is the 5D Mark IV's 4K video adequate? Well, absolutely. To me, I think it's more than adequate for pretty much everyone who uses it. It's going to be incredibly detailed and really nice and sharp. And it's going to also work well in low light, but there are a few different issues. First off, you've got quite a large crop factor on it, so you're going to have to use different lenses. And secondly, the codec is a very heavy codec, so you are going to be getting really large file sizes when you're going to be shooting 4K on the 5D Mark IV. And also, it's going to be a little bit trickier to edit because it's not a particularly nice codec to edit with. So look, if you've got a 5D Mark IV, or if you're thinking about buying one, it's probably going to be a good video camera, but there are definitely better 4K video cameras around. So I got a question here saying, what's the best way to get better at post-production? Just practicing or taking a class? Well, they're both really good at getting you better at the skills, but for me, I'm pretty much always going to say just practicing. I've been doing post-production, working in Photoshop and also doing video editing for about 10 or at least 10 years. And I'm only 26. And I never really took that many different classes. Now, if you're completely new to it, you can look at something like lynda.com or Udemy, and they'll be able to really kind of teach you in an online way how to do the basics. But to really master the art of post-production, whether it be photos or videos, the best way is to just practice, 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 and you'll really get better that way. And we've got a question here saying, is the Canon 7D a good camera for photos and videos? I currently own a 700D and was thinking of an upgrade. What do you think? Yeah, the Canon 7D is a really good camera. It's a little bit old now, and you probably know that there's a Canon 7D Mark II out. I probably wouldn't get the Canon 7D, the older version, for videos. It's a little bit outdated and it doesn't have very good things like autofocus and a touchscreen. The 7D Mark II is going to be a better bet for videos, but the 7D versions are really good for photography, especially for sports photography. So I'd probably get the Canon 7D for sports and wildlife photography, probably not video. You're probably better off getting something like a Canon 70D or 80D for video. So that was another Instagram Q&A. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Definitely make sure to subscribe if you haven't done it yet to go into the draw to win a Canon T6 or a Nikon D5600. And also guys, I want you to check out my brand new list, the top 10 best beginner level DSLRs. That link will be in the description box below under this video and you can take a look. Hope you all have a fantastic day. I'll see you next time. Bye.